this is Dave here, and today I'm going to talk about extensibility in RazorCart. So, up on the screen right now, I just have a quick review of all the modules in RazorCart because we've added a couple since I've last video I created. So we have the admin console, the product listing, the product details, the checkout, the mini cart, the category menu, the product slider, the search, the quick order, and my account and the product grid. Okay, so as far as extensibility in RazorCart, there's 5 main areas that I'm going to talk about today. Number one is Viewsets, then the integration pipeline where you can go and insert your own programs, some C# logic, server-side code, the REST API, how to plug in a custom payment gateway, and then querystring variables. So let's start with Viewsets. So here I have a new DNN portal, and I'm going to go into the admin, RazorCart admin. And if you go to store setup and templates and Viewsets. So here is our Viewset admin screen, and each one of these boxes corresponds to a module, user-facing module. So you see you have category menu, checkout, mini cart, my accounts module, product details, product grid, the list, the slider, quick order entry, and the search. So the way this works is right now you can see these are grayed out, which means that it's using the views that we ship with RazorCart that are located in the desktop modules folder in the RazorCart. They're CS/HTML files, the views. So if you want to customize the views, it's a 2-step process. So you go in here and you copy the view set, and you can see then that ungrayed everything, so now it's editable. And then you go in here and you click edit selected. So the category tree is kind of small, but basically you can see we have the editor, the built-in RazorCart editor has color coding, and it's a Razor view, and so you have all the functionality available in Razor views. So you can write C#, you can write HTML, you can write C#, you can write AngularJS. These @ signs are the transition from HTML to C#. So really, you can do anything. You can completely extend RazorCart using views, writing your own C# code, changing what fields are available. Basically it's just limitless what you can do with these views. And the views are part of MVC from Microsoft. So if you Google Razor syntax, you go to the Microsoft site, and there's going to be a ton of documentation, not just the Microsoft site, but Stack Overflow, any site. There's thousands of sites out there that have information on Razor and tutorials and things like that. But right now I have the Microsoft site up, and it goes through all the expressions in Razor, and I'm not going to go into all this right now. You guys can read offline, but they're the Razor views are there for you to customize and do whatever you like with them. If you have any questions, just definitely email us, and we'll help you work through them. In addition, you have all these properties in DNN that are specific to DNN, so you can test, if a user is in a specific role, and whether or not he can view certain data in a view. So all the properties that are built into DNN are available in these Razor views. And when you copy them, when you copy these views like I just did here, it creates a copy, an editable copy, and puts it in the portals folder so that if you upgrade RazorCart later, it doesn't overwrite your customizations. So this is a handy feature in RazorCart, and real excited about it. So those are the views. The next thing is the integration pipeline. So the integration pipeline is a way for you to, further extend RazorCart and write C# code, server-side code, and so let me show you how to get that because we have an example. So if you go to our website and you click the support tab and then you click integration, it's going to take you to our help desk, and the first article here is the integration pipeline. So we have a nice help article here, and then also a sample Visual Studio project. So you want to go here and download the sample Visual Studio project. Okay, and then once you download the Visual Studio project, you want to unzip it and then copy it to go to navigate to your portals folder, and you want to copy the project to the libraries folder. So I've already done that, but I just want to bring it up and show you here. Okay, so here's the integration example that I downloaded and extracted. So you just want to copy it here. So right inside of libraries. And then you can open up the project, which I have open. And then let's look at the sample code that we give you. Okay, so this is our pipeline manager and our integration pipeline, and there's three main areas that you can extend. There's the cart pipeline, which has the main ones here that you're probably going to use for that you're going to override are the pre-add to cart and the add to cart complete. You probably don't want to override these three because that's some built-in functionality that we do, although you can. So, but the pre-add to cart and the add to cart complete are the two that you're going to override most likely. And then also you can insert new functions here that you want to call. So we could say check ERP inventory, and if you had a function there that you wanted to check your inventory in your ERP, you could do that just by inserting a function. But one of the things that's typical in a shopping cart application is before allowing somebody to add something to their cart, you want to check inventory in your ERP possibly, and then deny them or approve them depending on if there's quantity on hand available. So let's look at this this pre-add to cart function. Okay, so we have an example here. That we've given you, and you can do anything here. It's just regular C# code. Um, and yeah, so that would be an example of one of the things that you would want to do, um, overriding the pre-added cart is checking inventory. Oh, I forgot to mention, after you copy the project, there's two things that you're going to want to do. When you copy the project, after you download the project from our website and you copy it to your DNN portal libraries folder, you're going to need to fix the references here. So the .NET Nuke reference, the RazorCart core, and the RazorCart service data reference will be broken. So you're going to want to, delete those and then re-add them, to reference the bin folder of your this path, the bin folder in your DNN install. And then the other thing that you might want to do is change when you build the project, you want to change the location of the build, because this project, when you build it, is going to create a DLL. So you want to change that so that when you build, it builds right to the bin folder of your DNN portal. Okay, so we were talking about overriding the pre-add to cart. So one of the things you want to do here is, you can do anything, but one of the main things is you may want to check your inventory on in your ERP system. And if you're out of inventory, you can return false. And if you have inventory, then you just return true, and it continues on. Okay, so we got pre-add to cart, add to cart complete, and then we have the calculator pipeline actions, and these are when you're on the cart page, and you can see there, calculate the subtotal, calculate the discounts, calculate the coupons, the shipping, the handling, the tax, and then finalize it to the grand total. So you probably don't want to reorder these, but what you can do is you can override any of these, and you can also insert your own functions here or methods here to do things in the calculator. But this pipeline action gets run on the cart page when we're calculating all these order discounts. So we have an example here that we've given you, and it's called My Calculate Tax. So I've overridden the tax calculator that's built into RazorCart, and so I'm just going to go to definition on this. Okay, so here it is. So essentially, the built-in function in RazorCart to calculate is called calculate tax, and then I've overridden this class and created my own called My Calculate Tax. So the important thing here to know is that if you override any of our base pipeline actions here, like tax, then it's not going to execute the RazorCart tax that's built into RazorCart. It's going to execute your tax function unless you add this line, base.execute. Now this is going to execute the RazorCart built-in tax calculation, and then if we return success there, then it's going to go in and do your calculation. So for example, if you wanted to add an additional tax to the built-in RazorCart tax, you could do that here, or you could just not call ours and then just build your own tax and just completely override the RazorCart tax. But the important thing here is that we've exposed, we've broken up each function in the cart, in the calculator in the cart, to each one of these granular functions that can be overridden, and then you can also insert your own logic here. So it's pretty powerful. We've exposed everything here and allowed you to completely integrate with our pipeline. Okay, so back to the pipeline here. So the last one, so we've gone over the add to cart, pre-add to cart, post-add to cart, and how you can write your own logic for either of those two functions. And then we just went over the calculator pipeline, and you can do the same thing. You can override our base methods, or you can insert your own functions. The last one that I'm going to talk about is the checkout pipeline actions. So we have an array of built-in RazorCart actions. So this happens when you're on uh, the last page of the checkout when you click submit, and then that's when this gets called. So the built-in actions are validating the order, saving the customer an order and payment, processing the payment gateway, updating the payment record, the status that we just got back from the payment gateway, updating the inventory, saving the user information, sending the email, and then this is a custom action that we added so we could give you an example of how to write your own method in the checkout pipeline. So they kind of work the same way. You can override any of the base actions. You can insert your own actions anywhere in the pipeline. Again, I don't want to, I don't recommend reordering these items. Just override or insert, a new one wherever you want, but don't change the order of these because some of them depend on, like, saving the order. You have to save the order before you can save the payment record because the payment references the order ID. So keep these in the same order, but you can insert your own or override any of them. So let's look at this. So we just, here's an example of writing your own on checkout complete. So basically, once a user completes his order and everything's saved, the order, everything's saved to the database, we process the payment, everything's successful, then you could write your own code to, for example, send the order to your ERP system or your accounting system. So let's check out this function, the sample code that we've given you here. Okay, so this example is calling a web service on checkout complete. So you can see that we've overridden the RazorCart base action, core action pipeline, and we've overridden the on checkout complete, and we called our new class is called my on checkout complete. And then we go to this execute method, and it gets passed into the context, and which is basically all the properties of the order. And then you can call basically a web service to, this example that we gave you is just calling a web service to send the order to the ERP system, which is something that's common in an e-commerce site because most people have an ERP and an accounting system that's the master for all of their their products and their orders and payments. So we got to get the new order from the e-commerce site to the ERP, so you could do that here. Okay, so these are some nice examples that you can download right off our website and compile and follow. And okay, so it takes you to our knowledge base here, and then I downloaded the action delegate pipeline knowledge base article with the sample project, and then there's a description of how to use it. Okay, and then one last thing is that so once you've built your project here, okay, and you have the DLL goes into the bin folder, then you would want to go, the way that you hook it into RazorCart is you go to extensions and you would choose it here and then save, and then that's the final step. And you can see that it shows all of the functions that I've overridden on checkout complete, calculate tax, pre-add to cart, and add to cart complete. So So that's how the integration pipeline works. The REST API is um, is a way to get data in and out of the system. So typically, um, people want to sync their ERP or their inventory data or their accounting data with their ERP system. So um, what that means is that um, they'll companies will have an ERP system and it'll be the master for their inventory, say. So they'll have all the quantity on hand, and they'll want to get the for every SKU they'll want to get that quantity on hand into the e-commerce site. So you can basically push SKU and quantity on hand inventory levels from your ERP into the e-commerce site by calling the REST API for adding products or updating products. One of the other things that people do that we're doing right now with Sage 100 is every time somebody completes an order, you want to send. So every time somebody completes an order in the cart, you send that order to the ERP system. So the ERP system and the accounting system have visibility to that order. Because typically the ERP system is the master for the data because you'll have a retail location, could have multiple retail locations, and then you'll have an e-commerce site. So the ERP system has visibility to the retail and the ERP and the e-commerce. Okay, so let's look at the REST API real quick. So um, so go to our website and click user guides, and then the first link here under RazorCart is REST API endpoints. And here's a list of all of the endpoints that we have. So you have all the essentially you have get and list, which pull data out, and then you have add, update, and delete, which move data in on every table. So here we got all the methods for orders. Here we have customers, uh, products, payments. So those are the main entities, the main tables. And so basically everything that you can do in the RazorCart admin by adding and updating data into the tables, you can do using one of these REST APIs. So in each one of these, we have sample code, and it's got the endpoint, and it's got the what the request should look like to the REST API and what the response should look like. So just go to our website, cut and paste that code, and you can use it in your custom program to integrate with RazorCart. So each one of these guys has a custom has sample code for you to use. Okay, so that's the REST API. The next topic that I'm going to cover is custom payment gateways. So in RazorCart, RazorCart comes standard with PayPal standard and authorize.net as gateways. And if you want to plug in your own gateway, then you would go to our website and go to support and go to user guides and then custom payment gateway. Okay, so you want to download the project and unzip it. Okay, so I've already done that. So here it is. It's in libraries, gateway example. And you copy this. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and put it in my portal root. It's the same drill as before with the integration pipeline. So you go and you put it in your libraries, and I'm just going to put it Actually, I think I did that. I need to copy. Let me do that. Try that one more time here. So I want to copy at this level, copy this folder. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over to my portal. And paste. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so the first thing is well, the references look okay here. Typically you have to change the references and then also where you build to. So I want to build to the root. Okay, so let's see if this builds. Okay, so once you build, then you want to go back. You want to go into the RazorCart admin, and you go to the payment gateway setup. Okay, so payment gateway setup, and I'm just going to edit this one. And right now you can see that I'm set up for a manual gateway. And once you build that custom gateway project, these two items are going to show up: custom direct gateway and custom hosted gateway. So the difference here is the direct gateways stay on your website. The user stays on your website to make payment. Hosted gateway, you're taken over to the gateway's hosted payment page, kind of like PayPal standard is a hosted gateway. So so once you choose those, let's look at the code real quick here. So all right. Jeez, laptop's kind of slow. This is Murphy's Law. Right when you do a video, your laptop slows down. Okay, so let's look at the direct gateway custom. So we gave you this the sample code, the sample Visual Studio project here. So you can see this is where the custom direct gateway comes up with. So we created a class called custom direct gateway that inherits from payment gateway, and you would just use this sample project and then follow it. So here's the properties. So your payment gateway is typically going to have a URL that you hit, and then also it's going to have credentials like a user ID and password. Okay, so here's just an example of, so we give you, the method, the correct signature on this function to use, and then all you have to do is call your gateway here, and then return. So this is this comment. You would, all the payment gateways are different. So you would call your payment gateway, and then most of the payment gateways return a standard response. And then you would just need to populate this object called payment status with a Boolean of true. If it was successful payment, it would be true. If it was declined, it would be false. And then a status, which is a string, the auth code that came back on the credit card, and all the gateways also return a transaction ID and then a note. So as long as you return this payment status object, it's going to plug into RazorCart, no problem. So if you want to plug in a custom payment gateway, go to our website and download the sample Visual Studio project. It's going to give you a good start. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about here is query string variables. And you could argue whether or not query string variables are extension points. They're a way to integrate with RazorCart without writing code. So, for example, I can add something to cart using a query string variable. I can filter the product listing by category using a query string variable. So, for example, so if I wanted to create my own page in DNN and use an HTML module to advertise my product and put an add to cart button in the HTML module, I could just link to the cart page in RazorCart and pass the product SKU, and it would add that directly from an HTML module. So if you want to know what all of the query string parameters are that we have, you would go to our website, click support, click integration, and it's going to take you to our help desk, and then click query string variables, and this is going to list all of the query string variables that we support. So on the product listing page, you can filter products by category, you can add products to the cart, and then on the you can link directly to the product details page. And so that concludes the RazorCart intro to extensibility. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please email us at support or sales@Smith Consulting. Thank you.